As Richard Branson said earlier this year, the test of a company's leadership, and of a chief executive in particular, usually comes during a crisis. So how can you make sure that your reputation remains intact when crisis strikes? Here are 10 principles to help you pass the acid test of management. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights on crisis management from Insignia. Number 1, create a crisis-resistant culture. Embedding a crisis-resistant culture means leaders must champion the behaviours they want. It requires tough action against those who fail to embrace this culture and reward for those who do. It means commending the supervisor who halts a production line, fearing product may have been contaminated, even if he turns out to be wrong and the stoppage costs thousands of pounds. Number 2, beware denial. To manage a crisis requires a leader to be aware they're facing one. Denial is the enemy of crisis management. Leaders must guard against blinkers which stop them from seeing things as they really are. Encouraging whistleblowers, employing external advisors who challenge the conventional wisdom, and spending time on the shop floor are all good ways of avoiding these traps. Number 3, be true to your values. Organisations which respond to crises in a way which undermines or conflicts with their values risk severe reputational damage. Effective leaders ensure that their crisis response is shaped by their organisation's values. Number 4, set the communication agenda. Successful crisis management requires an organisation to both address the problem and communicate effectively with stakeholders. One without the other is never enough. Effective crisis leaders seize the opportunity to set the communication agenda. They know that commitment to communicating quickly and regularly, even at a time of great uncertainty and pressure, will help the organisation to remain in control of its own destiny. Number 5, take responsibility for decision making. One of the most common pitfalls in a crisis is a failure to make decisions, either at all or quickly enough. Leaders understand that in a crisis there's rarely a perfect decision. Sometimes it's simply about making the least bad decision. Number 6, never hide behind your advisors. Lawyers, communicators and technical experts all play an important part in shaping an organisation's response to a crisis. But the bottom line is this: advisors advise, leaders decide. Number 7, be visible. In a crisis, people will be asking 2 questions of the organisation and its leaders. Are they competent and do they care? Effective crisis leaders understand the importance of answering these questions by being visible, showing support for those affected, and inspiring confidence that the organisation will get through this terrible event. Number 8, be personal. A crisis is no time for cold statements, full of management speak, issued from an ivory tower. That's why leaders with well-developed emotional intelligence, the ability to communicate in clear, simple language, and a willingness to let their personality come through in the midst of a crisis, are much more likely to succeed. Number 9, it's not about you. In a crisis, leaders must always remember that no one cares very much about its impact on them or their business. What matters is the impact of the crisis on others. Effective crisis leaders demonstrate humility and empathy, qualities which require self-awareness and flexibility of leadership style. Number 10, do the right thing and say the right thing. Leadership in a crisis requires courage. Courage to do and say the right thing. Doing the right thing in a crisis can mean taking difficult decisions, grounding a fleet of aircraft, ceasing to sell a highly profitable product, firing a high-performing colleague. Saying the right thing can make leaders feel vulnerable. Words like, "We're sorry," "We'll spare no expense to put this right," "I am accountable for resolving this." Crisis management is indeed the acid test of leadership, and some leaders will fall short. However, those who apply these principles to crisis management will be rewarded with enhanced trust, respect, and a stronger personal and organisational reputation. If you'd like more crisis management insights like this, please subscribe to this YouTube channel or visit our website www.insigniacomms.com.